Hello there, it's me, Sari, and today I'm here to show you a little bit of my die storage, thin die storage, that is. I have started off, let's see, I'm just going to use this in my hand. I have started deciding what the size of the pocket perhaps and the jar and everything to store them in. So I started off with these stamp and die storage pockets from Avery Elle. These are 5 5/8 times 7 3/8 of an inch. So they are rather big actually. So I ended up cutting papers 5 1/4 times 7 1/8. And this actually makes the fit quite nicely in those pockets. After that I have added on some self-adhesive magnetic tape, and I've just put on some stripes like that, nothing fancy really. After that I have decided on which dies to put on which page, and in this case I've just taken some of a set of dies that actually does have a set of stamps to go with it. So you say it isn't just about storing the dies, you also have to figure out how to store your stamps and everything that go with them. And the same thing goes, for example, the Tim Holtz's Sizzlets. I'm sorry, it wasn't the Sizzlets, it's the Thinlits dies. And let's say he's got that snowman set there, and here is the stamp set to go with it, so you can actually die cut the images really nicely, and everything is fine so far. And the thing that I'm storing them in right now is something that Ikea had before. I'm sure they have retired it right now. It's a shame, because this is a really good and sturdy jar. You can take it with you to craft events and everything. Nothing. I mean, it can really take quite a lot of weight, and it's easy to handle and everything. Well, enough said about that. I'm just going to take out these. You see, I'm struggling sometimes with the words. The word I was looking for when it came to this stamp set was blueprint. It is blueprint snowman set that I've got there. He did make, Tim Holtz, he did make quite a few sets for his stamps that actually had the dies to go with it, and I think that's a really splendid idea. Then we come to storing, or actually just putting dies on these papers and magnetic pieces of tape. Sometimes I have kept the set as it is, but sometimes I have just gathered things together that actually belong together. In this case, I've just got this one set from, I think it's Memory Box, with a sort of a Halloween spiderweb thing frame looking like that. So what I'll be doing later is I'll be making some dividing tabs that will tell me that there's Halloween, there's some circles perhaps, or there's arrows and such. So I will be doing a little bit of organizing still. And now that I see these big dies, I'm starting to think that perhaps I ought to just keep the sort of random kind of dies in a sort of a zipper bag, but it isn't a zipper bag, it's a sort of an armed, it's a really sturdy plastic bag with a zipper and everything. So I'm thinking that perhaps I should continue using or keeping those really big dies in just something like that. I'll just have to see about that. I'll just put those aside for now. And let's see, here I'm thinking that I might keep it empty until I get something more that goes with the theme of a fairy and such. And I have started collecting, there are some different shapes, and here is something that has to do with scenery, so I thought I'd just go for it. And here is something with a Christmassy, beautiful scene frame sort of thing there. Here's a tree and a branch, here's a city skyline and everything. So I have sort of thought that I'd be able to keep a theme on this. Here I have collected all of those words that came into in those Technique Tuesday Project Life kind of die sets. I put them in another sort of bag there, because I think that if I'm going to put one or two in every single one of these, it's going to take quite a lot of pockets, and I think it's easier for me to just keep them in that plastic bag there. Here I have put something that has to do with winter and Christmas. So this is the way I'm going actually. And if I have more things that go with the same thing, I'm just trying to cram up the pocket as much as I can. Here is something that has to do with some animals, but also Christmas, as I can see. So the thing that I haven't done with these, I haven't labeled these anyhow in any way, and that is because I want to be able to shift the place with these dies without actually feeling that, oh my god, I have ruined a pocket, and the pockets aren't exactly for free now, are they? So that is the reason for me just rather making a couple of dividing tabs for them later. Here is some more Christmas themed, and here is something that has to do with nature and leaves and such. So in this case, I'm actually rather pleased with this system. I'll show you a comparison to how I had it before. Well, I've had different kinds of dies I've kept in different kinds of jars, depending on the size and everything, you see. And I started off putting my dies in these sort of smaller CD record pockets, and it was all right, I suppose. But when it came to buying bigger dies, well, of course, I ended up having some problems. How on earth am I going to store these like this? And I didn't really feel that this was the perfect way to store my dies, so I just went ahead to using CD case things. And it was alright as well, just thinking about taking them to craft events and everything. It was alright because it's really easy to handle and carry and such. But I'm the kind of person that really likes to be able to browse through the things. And the more I think about it, I just want to store all my stamps and also my dies and everything like this. Even my small paper pads and everything. So, let's see. I still have to figure out how to store my dies from, let's say, Cuttlebug. Here is a Halloween looking set. Of course, I could go on keeping them in here. I mean, I know that they are here. It's still easy to browse through. And I can't really see the meaning of actually shifting them into these pockets because, you know, I think it's easier to just keep them like this. So if I can have all the big ones that I'm not going to be able to keep in one place, perhaps in one of these, well, I think I'm settled. But then we come to these. How am I going to store these small buggers then? Well, it isn't as easy as you think, because some of these are thick, some of these are half thick. I'm not even sure if it's going to stick to the magnet. Let's see. I've got something prepared. Well, actually it does stick to the magnet, sort of. So I could go there if I wanted to, but I just have to figure things out. Let's see about the Cuttlebug. No, that one doesn't stay because it's too heavy now, isn't it? So I think I'll just pause here, just to let you know that this is my train of thought, and this is where I am right now with the die storage. I hope to see you soon again. Bye-bye.